Okay, so the spirit is trapped in the soul. Now, what is the spirit? The spirit is like this shapeless, gasless, formless, odorless form that moves freely through all things. So all life forms within this universe have a spirit within them that is animating, that is gaining experience so it can take on a bigger shape and form. See, before you was a human, and you how you have access to these faculties, these chakras, and the way you organize yours with your date of birth and your name and all these things is different from how, because animals don't really have that depth of use, like, they don't have obviously access to science, math, but we created those things. How? Because our mind is in a bigger shape and form, so we can observe what's going on in our realm and come to broader conclusions about reality, because we are in this human body, so it allows us to see more, experience more, and things like that. But as a spirit, when you create a soul, when you create a body, when you have an organ like this, sometimes we get lost in these organs, we get lost in these shapes and forms. And what do I mean by that? Because this is very important. What I mean by that is we get lost in these virtues and principles, these attributes and characteristics. And sometimes, depending on how your soul is programmed, because each chakra is carrying a different program. Your heart chakra, your moon chakra is carrying a different program. Your solar plexus is carrying a different program than everyone else, because your date of birth gave you an energetic imprint that governs your life, whether you know it or not. Because I didn't believe that this was true. I didn't believe that there was an energetic blueprint that I can track, that show me how I govern my life, show me how I live my life. Because this shit is actually crazy, right? So we get lost in these shapes and forms, and we think about when we talk. That's what I'm saying. We get lost in these shapes and forms. Think about when people talk about getting out of the ego, getting out of the root chakra, and things like that, because they use it as an ego to make themselves feel more important and things like that. While that's you really taking your ego and you rising up to your solar plexus, and you creating this individuality that's like very passionate, very egotistical, and you don't really care about nobody else. Now, you don't have to care about other people, but be able to observe and comprehend other people and what their motives are and things of that nature, right? So when we created these organs, we got lost in these shapes and forms. Think about people in life right now, right? You might see people that are very emotional, lost in their feelings. They can't see reality clearly. The boss might have told them, hey man, pick up that hammer on the floor. Dumb example, right? Pick up that hammer on the floor. This person start crying. Or, you see a white person, you call them a cracker, or whatever it is. The point is, some of our chakras are very underdeveloped to take on a new shape and form in the existence of the sixth dimension. Because over there's other shapes and forms that you can take as a spirit, so you can experience that realm or reality surrounded by other beings that graduated to that level of experience. And the same thing you're doing here is the same thing you're looking up there. The same way you look around, you see people, the same way you see a parameter, land, sea, ocean, all that is the same shit, just on a lighter density. Because everything we experience on a physical density first came from something on a lighter density. So this is why the Egyptians made up the sayings of as above, so below. Because when you understand the correspondences of as above, so below, you're able to understand, oh, okay, so Earth was created, this universe we are in was created like a pressurized diamond, pretty much, because there were forces around it creating this shape and form, condensing it and extracting it. Because like there'd be other like nebulas and galaxies rubbing into ours, and it'd be creating like winds and like all types of shit. You get deep because like you is by other universes, you is by other worlds. Just like how your cells are experiencing life through you in this vessel, you are just like a cell inside of this being, inside of this heart chakra that we call Gaia, Earth, and you are experiencing life, looking above, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. They're pretty much just doing the same thing as you, but it's dimensions inside of dimensions. So it's forms inside of forms. It's spaces inside of spaces. Even if you go and look inside of your cell, you will see that there's so many spaces inside of one cell. You can zoom in. You can probably keep zooming in, because that's how deep this shit is. It be form within form within form within form. Existence within existence within existence within existence. So the goal is for us not to get lost in one of our energies. We're here to evolve, experience, and grow, because we've signed up for those life experiences. We've all signed up for our life experiences, whether you perceive them as good, whether you perceive them as bad, because what a lack of awareness of the spirit is pretty much is this lack of ability to transform your life. This is why we make up all these religions, and we're looking for a God out there to help us. But these same books tell you that God does not help those who don't help themselves. This is exactly why. This is the crazy part, because whatever you're looking for, it's already in your reality. It's already in your face. Whatever you're looking for, if you're looking for money, if you're looking for education, if you're looking for networks, if you're looking for friendships, associates, whatever it is that you're looking for, it already exists within this parameter. This is why these books also say that God has given you everything you need for life and godliness already, past tense. So it requires simply our mere observation of the wave to collapse the particle from the wave, because the particles are already all around us, right? Let's say you want to go and be a property manager. If you take on the disposition of like organization, maybe like Virgo, Capricorn, things like that, things have to do with status, business, things have to do with earth, materiality, and you use that shape and form, and you walk around, depending on your attributes and characteristics though, this is like, because you have something already in your space. You already have an attribute and characteristic. You've already been imprinted. So if you understand what that is, you understand what things in life support your existence and what things in life don't support your existence, as far as friends, as far as things to consume, and all these other type of things. Because at the end of the day, our brain gets affected by the physical things and the things that are light in density. The physical things from the perspective of the food you eat, the physical people, places, and things you hang around, the physical places that you are at, or the people, places, and things that you interact with, and things like that. Because we all have an energetic field, and we all kind of mark each other almost. When we're in each other's space, we are affecting each other. Now, we don't have to allow that to happen, but that's just what seems to happen, because we're in each other's proximity, right? So when two people, or just say you in general, you have a space, you're aware of that space. Now, there's certain things that you like in that space, there's certain things that you don't like in that space, and that's what your spirit is going to do. It's going to kind of rattle you a little bit. It's going to create a situation, because really the spirit be trying to break out of these shapes and forms, these outdated souls experiences. So you'd be trying to create some experience, whether catastrophic, whether positive, depending on how you guide your mind to create your life. So the spirit is stuck inside of a soul, because the spirit is not aware of itself, meaning that you might need to go through certain experiences to understand that you have the transformative properties and capabilities that God demonstrates all around you based on the seasonal transitions and changes. Because we can see nothing in physical form stays the same for long. Same thing with our thoughts and feelings. Whether you have insecurities, whether you have hatred towards a particular group, or whatever it is that you carry, these forms are supposed to change. So what I would like to invite everybody to do is start to become more aware of your spirit. Really start to listen to yourself. Now, it's difficult at the beginning because a lot of people don't listen to themselves. Now, take me for example. I didn't listen to my gut, my intuition, what I knew in my heart, what I knew I wanted to do for like 5 years or 7 years or whatever it is, because I'm 25 years old right now. And this information was always available. My spirit was always telling me which direction to head. But there's no classes for this shit. And when you come to this realm, people tell you, oh no, go to school. Oh no, here's a religion. Oh no, here's this. Oh no, here's this. So it becomes difficult to heal and take care of your soul. So our job is to become so aware of ourselves, so aware of our own spirit, that our soul no longer gets in the way. Because the spirit can move through all things. And if you can be light and free enough, you'll be able to move through all things just like the spirit. Meaning that experiences, new or old, it's just gonna be like drinking water for you, because now you understand life. You understand what it means to live. You understand the spirit. You're not just stuck in the flesh. You're not just stuck in density. You're not allowing these fluids to affect your mind and body. Now you understand how to use your spirit to override those fluids that come from your soul, because your soul is discharging that fluid. Because let's say you have a heart chakra and it's very damaged and it's very hurt. It's going to discharge a particular emotional chemistry to put you back in that same place that you was when you was younger. Whatever happened to you, if you was beat or whatever that happened to you, the heart chakra is going to try to put you in that same space every time, because it created such a strong emotional imprint. That emotional imprint now has a life of its own. And if you don't take charge of using your own spirit to override that soul, then that soul will run your life unknowingly, and we'll just call it things like fate. Things like, oh, this had to happen for me to learn. Oh, I had to go to the church on Sunday. I had to do XYZ for XYZ deity. While God doesn't need our prayers or nothing. Just by me here merely speaking about the subject, that is my service and my worship to God. Because it's about the intention in the heart. It's not about you doing a specific ritual, Allahu Akbar. It's not about you going to the church every Sunday. God doesn't give a damn about these things. We see damn well that people spend millions, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars on churches and mosques. But even if you look at the sheikhs in Dubai, golden Lamborghinis, diamond cars, and you would think that these people is religious in some type of way. No, they're not religious. They're just like us, and they're stuck inside of a soul. They're stuck inside of this third-dimensional physical outward experience, and they think that's the end-all, be-all. Now, obviously, their book tells them otherwise, but you gotta understand that these books give you a false positive on purpose. So yeah, you believe like, okay, they telling you about God, but really they're telling you about the mental form that they created, because it's a golem to rule over your life, and they just gave it a name like Allah, Yahweh. And it gets deep, because literally they killed Jesus. They killed people's so-called savior, and then they paraded the savior that they killed as if he was the new founder of the Roman Catholic Church. But Jesus never called himself no Christian or nothing. The leadership at the Roman Catholic Church decided that Jesus would be a good martyr for our new religion. Meaning that this shit was created by the government, bro. And so, and if anybody know anything, we all know that the government don't really got your best interest in the heart. So, see, they understand all this shit about the spirit and the soul. And they want to lock you up in your soul. They want to make sure that you don't get to leave this dimension, because they need your charge. They need your chi. They need you to keep coming back here and revolving around and around and around, so you can generate electricity for their system, so you can show up, do their jobs, continue to reproduce flesh and blood, which is people, which is really just their product and things like that. Because any country, if there's no people there, ain't no productivity gonna get done. So really, be the population, that'd be the real assets and things like that. Because money don't move without people, something like that. You need people to move money. You need people to harness the resources that lead to productivity, or create, product, services, information to have productivity and things like that. So it gets really deep, but I want to leave you guys with that. Become aware of your spirit, because your spirit is talking to you right now, and it's not that difficult. You just trust in yourself, and that's the difficult thing. Nobody trusts themselves. I couldn't even trust myself. My intuition would be like, yeah, that right there. You do know that right there is bad for you, right? I'd be like, yeah, intuition. Like McDonald's say it's like 1,600 calories. No, not good. It can't be that bad. Come on now. Let's go get us some McDonald's. Come on, bro. Come on now. If your intuition tell you something, you gotta listen. It might just save your damn life. Real fucking shit.